my channel. My name is Heather, and it's
time for a reading with Shadow and Shine.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I am going to bring to you guys a collective reading for New Year's for 2025. We are going to break down each month, January, February, March, April, so on and so forth. I'm going to pull a card for each month and we're going to see what the energy is, what you need to know so you can be prepared for the best 2025 that you can possibly live. But before I get into it, I'm going to share with you guys a really quick and cute Christmas related video. The other day I went to go check out Candy Cane Lane, in other words, which is in the Lincolnwood neighborhood here in the Chicago area. And it's super cool because one of the houses there, they have a Christmas tree. Like, I don't know how they do it. Like, obviously it's kind of like an optical illusion thing, but they have it set up in a way where it literally goes up through like 2 stories of the house and then up through the roof. Anyways, it's in this video. I'm just going to do a quick little 5-minute segment before I get into this reading, just kind of sharing with you guys some of the gorgeous, glistening, glittering Christmas lights on Candy Cane Lane. So if you want to check that out, that's coming up next. Otherwise, go to the timestamp down below and you can dive right into the reading. But let me know if you enjoy the Christmas lights. enjoy the festive Christmas lights? If you did, let me know. If you skipped them, that's totally cool too. I know you guys are here for the reading, and that's also what I'm here to do for you guys. Anyways, let's get into this. So this is going to be a general reading. It is a collective reading, so it is obviously going out to a huge, large group of people out there because it's open for anyone on the internet who just so happens to stumble across this. So keep that in mind. Some things may make sense for your life, but if it doesn't apply to you, please just let it fly. Take the things that do resonate, that do make sense. Don't force things that are not for you in this. But anyways, let's get into this. So we're going to start out with January. I'm going to pick one card for each month. For a couple of months, I may pick 2 cards, but we're going to pick a card for each month, or pull a card, I should say, to see what the energy is. I'm going to be using In My Feels, which is one of my very own oracle decks. You can find it over on my website, shadowandshine.com, if you're interested in a copy of this for yourself. So every single card in this deck, it covers basically a whole rainbow array of emotions, and each card comes with a yes, no, or maybe a message attached to it in the event of yes or no questions, because sometimes people have those questions, and that's a pretty straightforward way to get right to it when it comes to that. So anyways, I'm going to pull a card here. Since this is about feelings, this is about emotions, it's going to give us a little perspective on what the emotions, what the feelings are, what the vibe is for January. So let's see, January of 2025, what's in the air for the collective? Let's see what we get. All right, we got one. Oh, okay, so we're starting off the year on kind of a painful note here. We have regretful, remorseful, sourful. So I feel like this card, it's not necessarily about 2025. It's more so about the past. This could be about things that happened in 2024. It doesn't necessarily have to be like New Year's Eve, although of course, maybe you do wind up doing something you regret on New Year's Eve. I hope not, but that could be possible for maybe one person. But I feel like more so, it's more likely that this card is going to be in regards to situations, circumstances, things that happened in 2024. You may be stepping into 2025 reflecting a lot on 2024, and unfortunately not the positive things about 2024, but maybe mistakes that you made, maybe things that you said or did that you wish you could take back, or they could be things that you didn't say or that you didn't do that you wish you had. So not exactly the most fun way to kick off 2025. I feel like if you are feeling this regret energy going into the new year, the best thing you can do is release that, because you know what happened in the past happened in the past, and you can't go back and you can't change it, but you can start changing your life in the present moment, because the choices you start making now going into 2025, and the thoughts you have, the words you speak, the actions you take, that's going to impact down the road what happens for you in 2025 and possibly even beyond that. So try to be a little bit more kind to yourself. Give yourself a big hug, forgive yourself, and let yourself off the hook. If you do feel regretful, chances are you probably learned the lesson, because if you weren't aware, if you weren't conscious of it, then there wouldn't be that feeling of remorse. So give yourself a break. Give yourself a little bit of kindness and love, and if anything, prepare yourself to just simply do better next time. Learn the lesson and move on. Holding on to it is not going to do you any good. So let's now look into February. All right, we've already got something popping out for February here. Oh, Oh my goodness. So the trouble is still kind of lingering on here. Vengeful, spiteful, malicious. No. Okay, so the interesting thing is as this card came out, hold on, let me get the other one. It kind of like flipped back in. Where'd it go? Here it is. So as this card came through, we had a second card come through, which is a better energy. I'm actually going to take both on this and explain what the deal is here, what's going on. So going back to January here with regretful, I feel like if you stay in that frame of mind, it's going to put you in kind of like a toxic cycle to set you up for kind of more problems and more chaos in 2025, which nobody wants. It could kind of make you feel vengeful and spiteful after so much regret and so much remorse. It's almost like that sadness, if you don't release it and if you don't let go of it, it may fester and develop more so into anger. And then that anger, it may just kind of have you look at the world in more of a spiteful and sorrowful kind of a way. Not that you would like intentionally hurt someone. I don't feel it's necessarily intentional, but I do feel like there's a lot of just like holding on to grudges and just remembering things that don't need to continue and needs to continue to be held on to is what it comes down to. However, I feel like if you make the other choice and not continue to live in regret, you will find yourself feeling much more accepted. You'll find yourself feeling included, welcomed, acknowledged, just embraced by those around you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers, your community, whatever it is that this looks like to you. But I feel like it starts with that choice. I feel like it starts with that choice in terms of moving on from regrets in January. So this is kind of like a fork in the road for February. It's like, which path are you going to take? Are you going to take the vengeance path or the acceptance path? So the choice is yours, and depending on what you choose, it could go in two different ways, like two different collectives here in a sense. So that's what we have for February. Let's get into March. What is the energy for March of 2025? All right. Curious, inquisitive, asking questions. So this is kind of more of a neutral energy. It's not necessarily good or bad. So I feel like either group, whether you wind up going the vengeful route or the acceptance route, I feel like simply the collective as a whole, you may get more and more curious about a lot of different things. Once again, it kind of depends on who you are and what's happening in your life. For some of you, it could be curiosity about spirituality, the truth around just kind of like life, getting through this crazy matrix that we're in. It could be in regards to like class consciousness and stuff like that. There's a lot happening right now in the world, obviously in politics and just in terms of like the cost of living and things like that. And you could become more curious in just the truths, I feel like, behind a lot of that stuff. Maybe getting more curious in how to get involved in how to make actual changes and differences within your community and how to just like make your life better and help other people around you and their lives improve and get better. This could be curiosity in terms of learning new skills, learning new talents, learning something new when it comes to work or your job. It could be learning when it comes to like your own mental health and your own well-being. You could be getting more and more curious about, just like self-improvement, personal growth and development. I feel like anyone who's probably watching this right now is probably someone who would be a little bit more interested in that in general, simply because I do talk about those things a lot here. But yeah, I just feel like it's definitely the energy of the student is what I want to say. It's the energy of someone who wants to learn. And like I said, depending on who you are and what's happening in your life, that could be a lot of different things. It could quite literally be going back to school and learning things. It could be learning things when it comes to relationships. It could be learning better finances and that kind of thing. It could be becoming more curious about people that you're in relationships with and getting to know them better. So, once again, take that where it resonates. But either way, I feel like March is definitely a time of learning and that desire to learn, and it's like that beginning of knowledge in a sense. So that's pretty cool for March, because that can definitely I feel like it can definitely snap you out of it if you accidentally take the vengeful route in February. And if you take the acceptance route, I feel like it's just kind of like that natural next step in terms of, hey, what's next kind of a thing. All right, April, let's see. Okay, I feel like you are going to get answers. You are going to get some clarity and insights out of the curiosity that you seek in March, because April is going to bring you peace. We have peaceful, tranquil, calm. So it's going to be a very calm, it's going to be a very soothing month for you, which is probably going to be a good thing, because I know just in terms of like the astrology, 2025 is kind of chaotic. That doesn't mean it's chaotic for you personally, but just on that collective level, once again, it's going to be kind of crazy. It's going to be like one of those things where it's like every time you look at your phone or you turn on your TV and you hear the news or something like that, there's always some kind of story happening that is absolutely bananas. But I feel like no matter what's happening in the world could be on fire, whatever it is, but you're going to be holding it down. You're going to be grounded. You're going to be stable. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling the peace within. So that is definitely a positive thing. All right, what's happening in the month of May? What's happening in May? It's starting to really warm up in the throes of spring at that time, getting into summer. Okay, we're still on a good tangent here. So April showers bring peace, and May flowers bring inspiration. You're going to be feeling inspired, motivated, energized. So I feel like this is like, it's definitely a very natural progression here. It's definitely a very natural kind of uphill incline, which I'm loving for you guys. 2025 has a bumpy start, but I feel like you can definitely get past that, because like I said, by spring, by March, things start changing. So we lead in there in March with that curiosity. You'll get curious, you'll get insights, perspectives, downloads, new information, which is going to bring you peace. And from that peace within, that's when action happens. That's when you're going to start taking action on the things you've learned. Like, for example, if one of the things you got curious about was how to start your own business, you're going to get the answers on that. You're going to feel peaceful about it. And then you're going to feel inspired to start taking the steps of action necessary to begin that business or whatever that thing is. Do some kind of project. It could be inspiration to maybe move somewhere, inspiration to get into a relationship. Whatever this inspiration is, this is about action. It's about actually doing things. It's about actually applying that motivation. And that's definitely coming out of that peaceful energy that initially was there the previous month. So all good things here. So we got, let's see, January, February, March, April, May. We're going into June now. And for June, I got like a little itch in my ear. Sorry about that. For June, I'm going to pull 2 cards. I'm still going to pull one from In My Feels, so we get that emotional energy. But I'm also going to pull a card from my summer oracle deck for that, because it is going to be summertime, obviously, then. So it kind of makes sense to see what's happening there in the summer. Oh, Okay. So, June may usher in summer love, is what I'm going to say with that. You guys got the horny card. So, we got turned on, lustful. So, this doesn't necessarily say love, but it definitely says that, it's going to be hot outside, tank tops, flip-flops, bikinis, swim trunks. People are wearing less clothes. The days are longer. The nights are hot. The nights are steamy. So there definitely may be some action coming in for you in the month of June. It could be summer fling energy. I feel like this is going to vary once again from person to person. If you're in a relationship, like a stable, solid relationship where, there is love there and everything, it could be a representation of things just being very good between the two of you guys and feeling very physically connected with one another. If you are not presently in a relationship, you could be entering a new relationship then, or it could be a summer fling thing. Once again, all kind of depends on where you're at, but either way, there's action there. There is physical intimacy there. All right, let's get a summer card for the month of June. These cards are massive, I swear. I love this deck. I have like a love-hate relationship with this deck. This is Spicy Summer from for a summertime kind of thing. Okay, so this one right here is just kind of sticking out, so I'm just going to take it because it is such a big deck. Summer nights. So you are going to be enjoying some wonderful summer nights. Once again, we have this couple here. We have this couple. They're not exactly having this kind of intimate moment, no, but they're still spending time with one another. They still look very cozy with one another, that they're obviously enjoying one another's company. So I feel like it's safe to say you put the two of them together and you are definitely having a very romantic, very passionate June for the start of summer. So that is pretty cool. Let's move on to July. See what fireworks are in store for the month of July. The passion is continuing, you guys. Passion, excitement, intense. So it's just carrying on. It's a very hot summer in the love department, in the romance department, in the relationship department. It's a very hot summer indeed. It's just kind of piggybacking on what we already had there in June. Let me get a summer oracle card to go along with that because we are still in summer for July, obviously. My gosh, this deck is huge. Okay, we got something. And we have the road tripping card. So you may travel in the month of July. You may do some traveling, take a little road trip. Obviously, July is Independence Day. We have the 4th of July happening then, so it could be something in connection to the 4th of July. I definitely feel like it'll most likely be you and your person who are going to be traveling together, whether it's during the 4th of July or at some other point during July, but there's still going to be a lot of that heat, a lot of that passion. I almost kind of get the vibe that like this is a new relationship, or it's a renewed relationship, or it's someone that you've been with before where you guys have come back together for this union is what it comes down to, which is why it's so fiery and so passionate. But either way, definitely good vibes happening here for the summer. Summer seems really exciting and enjoyable. Let's get into August. What does August hold? We are on a roll right now for summer. Loving that. All right. Oh, okay. We have kind of a change in the energy here for August. It doesn't necessarily mean anything bad is going to happen in the romance department because I don't necessarily have context as to what this is about. Sorry, my hair is bugging me. But we have terrified, scared, and frightful for August. I'm going to pull another summer card So we have one for August as well, just to see if we can get some context as to what exactly could be going on that we're terrified about, because right now I don't know. Let's see. What is terrifying about August of 2025 for the collective? Let's see. August of 2025. Okay, this deck is so big. I've shuffled it a couple of times. I'm just gonna split the deck. And we've got scavenger hunt to find the answers you seek. Okay, so this gives me a little bit more context on that terrified card. Once again, I still don't feel like it's anything massively bad. I feel like if anything, August of 2025 may kind of bring you back into a little bit more of a reflective state. I'm not necessarily sure why. I'm not sure if there's like an event that triggers this or a situation that triggers this. It could just simply come out of your own personal growth and development and your own thoughts and your perspectives on life. They could simply be changing and shifting on their own that bring this on, or it could be something external that brings this on. But I feel like the key here we really need to look at with this card is find the answers you seek. It reminds me a lot of what we had going on here in March with the curiosity card. So I feel like in March, you peeled back one layer, and it's kind of like August is gonna roll around and there's going to be a deeper layer, a second level, another level to kind of peel back upon. So I feel like it's an extension, a getting deeper level part of whatever was happening in March. And I feel like when you do that, it's going to be some more self-discovery in a sense, getting more curious, seeking out answers, getting insights, getting clarity. A lot of this may be just simply getting to know yourself a lot better. It could be through therapy. It could be through a lot of your own personal healing, because when we do that, we do kind of have to address a lot of unanswered questions within ourselves. And I feel like when you do that, it's going to be scary. It's going to be terrifying. I feel like there's going to be some unexpected answers that pop up. Not that they're going to be bad, but I feel like the unexpectedness is going to be a little scary. It's going to be a little terrifying. There's going to be a little bit of truth revealing there that's going to be terrifying. It's not going to be bad. I just feel like it's going to be a lot to process, and it's going to be a lot to digest. But I don't feel like it's anything that you can't handle. Let's move on to September. Getting into that was really quick. Getting into the Burr months of 2025. So we're starting off 2025 with greedy, selfish, and egotistical. I'm sorry, not starting off 25, starting off September of 2025. So honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The first thing that I feel when I look at this card isn't actually you. The first thing that I feel when I look at this card is, especially considering, once again, we are talking about a collective reading here. We are talking about a large group of people. So this is energy that is impacting a large group of people. I honestly get the energy of like billionaires and CEOs with this, because the decisions and the choices that these billionaires and CEOs make, they do affect all of us collectively, whether we work for them personally or not. It impacts all of us. It impacts our economy. It impacts everything. So I almost kind of feel like this may be tied to that. It could be about being impacted by that or learning something by that, but I am going to pull a clarifier, something for a little bit of extra context. And now for September, hold on, I'm just getting the deck ready. we're going to go into my autumn-themed oracle deck, Fallen for You, because these are messages for the fall. So I figured these make the perfect sense for September, October, November. So let's get a little bit of context here on the greedy card. Maybe it'll give us more information. But like I said, I strongly kind of feel that CEO vibe there. So let's see what we get. All right, hold on. Something just popped. Respecting ancestors. Interesting. So I do feel like in the month of September, getting into the burr months, getting into kind of like a more nostalgic time of the year, because I do feel like fall and getting into the end of the year can be a lot more of a nostalgic time with the impending holiday season and that kind of stuff. You could feel more connected to your ancestors. You could feel like you want to be in touch with them more often. There could almost even be, at least on like a personal level, I still feel like the greedy thing is like all of us being impacted by CEOs, billionaires, that kind of thing. But on a more personal level, I feel like when we put these two together in terms of context, I feel like you might wind up learning about some ancestors in your past. And I don't feel like these are people who are like currently alive or living. You know, we could be talking about ancestors, like we could be talking about a great-great-grandparent or even like further back than that. But you could wind up doing some like ancestry DNA or something like that. You could be doing some research on family history, maybe talking to older relatives, something like that, learning more about your family's past. And in the process of that, you may wind up learning that there is an ancestor from the past who was kind of greedy and was kind of selfish. And especially if you do have like family trauma and that kind of thing that has been passed down through the generations, you could kind of discover some roots in greed attached to that in the month of September. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, that will definitely give you insight when it comes to self-growth and development. Okay, I just pulled another card from Fallen for You. I'm going to get to that in a minute. It's a good one. Don't worry about it. And let me get one more. This is for October. October of 2024. I meant to get the ones from In My Feels first, but I wound up grabbing the fall deck first. Okay, so in October, you are going to get news of some kind of surprise. So we have surprise, shocked, and awestruck. So I feel like October is going to be your plot twist month. Something is going to happen where it just kind of leaps out of nowhere. It jumps out of the unexpected. You don't see it coming. It is definitely a plot twist moment. So something surprising is going to happen, but I don't feel like it's anything bad because you also got the Your Golden card from Fallen for You. So this card tells me that whatever the surprise is that comes your way in the month of October, it's going to be good news. It's going to be something positive. You know, your golden is basically saying you're okay, you're fine, you're good. There's nothing to be worried about here. So it's probably going to be a positive surprise. I don't know what that is. I can't tell you what that is because once again, it's probably going to vary from person to person, but it's positive. Don't panic. Don't catastrophize it. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. October is also a long way away. So, I mean, there's a lot of blanks that would need to be filled in before then anyways, but just trust that if a surprise comes your way in October, it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. All right, let's get into November. What is the energy of November? Overwhelmed, deeply affected. So we have this guy here who has his hands over his ears. He's at work. He's obviously stressed out. So this card tells me automatically, especially with the office setting there, you could feel very stressed out and overwhelmed when it comes to work, specifically in the month of November. That will, of course, be at the end of the year, and there's probably going to be a lot of end of year wrapping up and end of year work that needs to be taken care of before the holiday season officially gets into the swing of things, because let's be real, by the time December comes along, most years, people are already on vacation in their minds, basically December 1st. No one is really there, present, really doing much of anything. So probably a lot of the heavy lifting will be done in the month of November. If this isn't tied to work, there could be other things happening in your life making you feel overwhelmed. It could be at home, it could be with friends, it could be within a relationship. But yeah, there's definitely going to be this feeling of just like carrying a lot. I don't want to say a burden, but definitely responsibilities in the month of November. A lot of that could also be, even just on a personal level, it could be preparing for the holidays, because as much as the holidays are magical and beautiful and wonderful, they can also be really stressful at the same time too, with all the planning involved with it and all the different moving parts as to what's going on. So that's definitely something to be mindful of. You guys also got, for the month of November, spooky season's fun. So obviously spooky season will be over by the time we get to November. But I feel like this could kind of be just like, I feel like it's kind of connected to the notion of feeling overwhelmed. Like if you're feeling very overwhelmed, it could feel scary. It could feel just kind of scary and spooky in a sense. Having to carry such a heavy load and having to do so much. But the interesting thing is, with this card saying fun, I do feel like Spirit is trying to remind you to still try to find enjoyment and have fun through it, in a sense. Like you have to be mindful to actually make that effort. The fun is not just going to magically happen without you. All right. And finally, we have December. I'm going to put Fallen for You to the side, because for December, I'm going to crack out my Christmas themed Oracle deck, A Magical Christmas, which I've kind of been using for the past month anyways, because we are still in the holiday season for 2024 at least, obviously, with this tree behind me. So let's pull a card for the energy in general for December of 2025. How will 2025 be ending? What is the final notes here for 2025? So we have cranky, crabby, grumpy, grouchy. So this is almost kind of like Grinch energy in a sense, because you know it's December. Yeah, it's like it's Grinch, it's Scrooge energy. So, you know, remember you guys, in November you had this overwhelmed card come through. So I feel like if you hold on to that energy of feeling overwhelmed, and if you allow that to carry over into December, it's not going to make you a fun person to be around. You're not going to be very enjoyable for the holidays. Like, other people are not going to enjoy being around you from that perspective. And also, you're not going to enjoy the holidays very much yourself, just because all of that stress and all the burdens that you carried, if you didn't like release those or let them go or ask for any help, it's just going to make you downright cranky and uncomfortable, and yeah, not that much fun to be around. So let's try to avoid that. But hey, that's one of the reasons why this reading is happening. If you know this now, then you can at least be aware of it and in tune with it. And I know that like November, December of next year seems like very far away, but this video is still going to be sitting there. So as you go from month to month, and if you remember to come back to this video from month to month, you could still check in and be just like, oh, it's June now. What did she say was going to happen in June? Let me look at that. Or you could be like, oh, we just passed March. I'm going to go back and check that to see what she said for March. See if that actually happened for me. So keep that in mind. This video will always be here to help you and assist you, as all of my videos are. Very rarely do I ever wind up deleting anything, so everything is here. But let's get one last card for December of 2025, which is one from A Magical Christmas. And you guys got December Dreams, Wish Upon a Star. How appropriate, because this does say December on it, obviously. So I feel like rather than focusing on what you don't want in the month of December, focus on what you do want. I feel like this is almost kind of like energy to kind of set yourself up going into 2026 too, for that matter, because it is saying like wish upon a star. That definitely makes me feel it's very much so like affirmations, journaling, just preparation, spell work, just manifestation work in general, any energy work going towards manifesting heading into 2026. So I definitely feel like it's kind of like the setup for getting into the next year after that, which obviously I'm not getting into right now. That will wait until next year. But yeah, it kind of brings things full circle in that regards. But yeah, that's basically what I have for you guys for your 2025 month by month breakdown as to what the energy is and what you can anticipate, what you can expect, what may be up on deck for you guys as a whole throughout 2025. And just so you guys know, this whole thing that I did right here, right now, is kind of a preview in a sense. It's kind of like a small example of what I do for you guys during a year ahead reading, because I do offer year ahead readings on my website, and I do the same thing. I go month by month and pull cards month by month, but I do pull, it's like a full hour-long session. So, I mean, this is not going to be an hour-long video, but it's an hour-long session. And during that hour, I will go month by month and pull more than just one or two cards for each month. I'll typically have several cards involved where I'll pull, and we'll break down each thing month by month. Oh, sorry. Oh, I was not expecting to yawn. It's kind of late as I'm recording this. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to be like getting ready to go to bed. But anyways, yeah, it breaks down every single month for you guys, month by month. And it's there for you guys to keep and to hold on to for pretty much ever for your own reference. You can also sign up to like have a subscription with a year ahead reading. So if it's something you want to do like every year where you don't even have to renew it, it just kind of automatically renews on its own, that's an option too. So I did want to let you guys know that that is available over on my website, as well as many other types of readings that I offer. I do twin flame readings, spirit baby readings, general forecasting readings, like anything and everything. You can find it there. And of course, you can find these oracle decks over there too, such as In My Feels or A Magical Christmas, Spicy Summer, and of course, Fallen for You. And I have other oracle decks there too. There's like a love deck, there's a career deck, a spirit baby deck, so on and so forth. I'm currently working on a brand new deck right now that I'm hoping to have out like sometime in January here, January of 2025. So that's something to be on the lookout for. I'm not going to say anything else on that deck right now because it's coming. It's still in the works. But anyways, yeah, whether it's an oracle deck of mine that you would like to be able to take home for yourself, or a reading that you want to order, shadowandshine.com, that is your one-stop shop to be able to find anything and everything when it comes to any of those things, because I am happy to be here and ultimately assist you guys on your journey and be there for you and with you through that. So yeah, but anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts on this reading here. Let me know if any of it resonated, made sense for you, what parts maybe you're excited for, that you're looking forward to, any parts that you have questions about, drop it down there in the comments. Also, before I wrap this video up, please give this video a big thumbs up because it helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. And if I resonate with you as a reader, or you just simply enjoy the content that I create and I post here, then go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading is posted, or every time there's like some kind of brand new content, brand new information for you guys to know about as a whole. Finally, aside from my website, which I already mentioned to you guys, I'm not going to mention that again. I also have a Patreon. I haven't necessarily done anything with that Patreon since like the beginning of November. Oh, I think there's like a spider up there. Anyways, sorry, got distracted. Maybe the spider's a sign for somebody. But yeah, in November, I kind of got very distracted by everything that was kind of happening in the country politically. I'm yawning again. I see I need to go to bed. But yeah, I kind of got distracted by everything that was going on in the country, politically speaking. And then after that, it was like right straight into Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holidays, and I was traveling. So with all that different stuff going on, I have not done the best job of being on top of my Patreon as I should be. So my apologies on that. I've kind of neglected it, but obviously getting back into it in the new year. So if you want to join me over on Patreon, I definitely invite you to hang out with me over there. I would love to have you there. There are free memberships, so there's no obligation to join at any cost. But if you're interested in like daily card pulls, weekly card pulls, joining the Discord server, any of those kinds of things, they're all very reasonably priced. Lowest one starting at literally $1 a month. My personal recommendation is the $5 tier because that is the one that has access to the Discord server at the minimum, and you do get daily card pulls sent to your inbox every day. So you kind of have like a little up and up when it comes to the energy and readings and that kind of thing. And of course, there's many more perks, many more offers even beyond that. So yeah, join me over on Patreon. But that's basically it, you guys. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out here with me for a little bit today. And yeah, so I hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful 2025. And I hope to hang out with you guys here more right here on YouTube, doing these videos and everything, hanging out with you on doing readings and stuff in 2025. So let's make this an awesome year, an abundant year, a blessed year, a year full of joy and love and laughter and community and all of that good stuff. So happy new year, you guys. Happy 2025. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.